Hi, Alison Marsden here from Gardening by Design. I'm out in my own garden on another beautifully sunny but extremely dry day, and so I thought that for my August quick video tip I would have a look around the garden at some of the plants and how they are faring throughout this extended dry period. I appreciate that not everywhere will have had the drought that the south of England and much of Europe has had, but I'm sure these hot dry summers will become more common. So it's just as well to understand how plants react. So first, the good news, and my roses are now putting on a second flush and they're not looking too bad. Compared to a normal year, we did have a bit of a lull. Usually they flower in my heavy clay ground, which of course is very moisture retentive, from June right through to October. Well, here we had a first flush and really a second flush with a gap in between. And I do think that although the flowers are lovely, I think they are a bit smaller than in previous years, and that's just a reaction to the water stress and the heat. So the plants, the leaves are looking nice and green and glossy, but then just not got that excess spare energy to put into huge roses and flowering all summer. But the lawn is a rather different case. So at the end of a normal summer, grass down here looks very dry and crispy and yellow. So we tried an experiment this year for wildlife as much as for anything else of leaving patches of the lawn long to grow and flower and paths mown through, and you can see that there is quite a difference. There is more green at the base of the grass that's been left long, and of course where it's been mown, but honestly not for a few weeks now, it's all gone pretty yellow on the top. But as most people will know, lawn grass recovers very, very quickly. And as soon as we have a shower of rain, it'll start to green up. And come the autumn, when things, I hope, will get back to normal, then an awful lot of the grass will recover. You can see that there really is quite a lot of green still at the base. Absolutely no need to water a lawn. This Brunnera, which normally has lovely green leaves with white variegations on, is looking very sad indeed. Nothing in this garden has been watered except a couple of pots of summer flowers. But I know, again, that when it rains, when we get more water in the soil, and in the autumn, this will recover. So the plant is simply not growing, it's not putting out new leaves. The leaves that we've got are where the water is lost through. So it's almost like an early autumn, and it's just going to hunker down until conditions improve. The Japanese anemone behind is looking a lot better. The leaves are very green, but again, it really, by this stage I would expect to see flower buds and stems forming, which it isn't. So really these plants are just ticking over in absolute minimum mode because they haven't got the water that they need to photosynthesize and produce energy and grow and flower. Here again is a perennial. This is a garden phlox. Nice bright pink flowers, again smaller than normal years, but my goodness, look at some of this foliage. That looks absolutely appalling, doesn't it? That's mildew. It's a fungal thing that just floats around all the time. Some things will get mildew in almost every year, but it's simply much worse this year because of the drought, dryness at the root. The plant is struggling a bit and it's unable to sort of shrug off the fungal spores as it comes in. But that mildew, the whole plant will die down in the autumn. It'll be cut off to ground level, and next year it should regrow fine. And if we have a better year, no mildew next year. And finally, a note about deciduous trees. These little golden yellow leaves you can see all over the path and the ground here are from a silver birch tree, and it looks pretty dramatic, but actually if I pan up you will see it's quite a large tree, and there are still plenty of green leaves on. There are some which are turning yellow and dropping, and again it's a different form of the same reaction in the other plants. The tree is sort of hunkering down to sit out the drought. All plants lose water through leaves in a bit the way that we perspire. To cool down we lose water, and that happens all the time through the leaves. So having a bit of an early autumn, shedding a few leaves, reduces water loss and enables the rest of the plant to survive. And that way we hope that if all turns out normal come the autumn, that a lot of these plants will recover and we'll be back to a more normal display next year. Just finish up on this hydrangea, flowering well, slightly small, and it's looking just a little bit tired, but again, putting on a really good display, so all is not lost in the garden. There's more information on my Gardening by Design website about how gardening supports well-being and how I can help you.